to help the state, help those folks recover any way that we can. That's why we're here. And the most important thing right now is for survivors to know how to get help. And they can do that one of several ways. If they can get to an internet-savvy computer, disasterassistance.gov, disaster assistance typed as one word, will get them to the registration. From a phone, m.fema.gov will get them there. The 800 number is still good, 621-FEMA or 3362. There is a separate number for TTY, which I will give you. I don't remember it off the top of my head. That's for folks with hearing or speech impairments. And finally, the programs that are available are really two sides of the house. One is housing assistance to help folks who've been put out of their home or don't have a safe place to be. The other is other needs assistance, and as his name implies, it covers a variety of things. I can get you those details too. But we are here to help any way we can, and we thank you for inviting us.
Thank you so much, Kurt. There's one other person that I want to just recognize before we take any questions you may have. In the rescue effort, there's so many people that have been involved in this. It's just ever-changing. But I want to recognize Pierce Clark, who was team leader for Star Team 2.
That's correct.
Correct. Pierce, thank you for the efforts of you and your team in the last few days. Thank you so much for being here. At this time, I want to just open for a few minutes that we have left here. Any questions from the media, and we'll designate certain of these questions to the folks who have expertise in these areas. Yes, ma'am.
Can someone describe just kind of, I know that's a wooded area back there, can someone describe just the terrain and any challenges that there were in the search and eventual finding of the body?
Yes, the challenges were all the debris. You could only imagine a whole forest just intertwined with one another. There's guys maybe crawling through it, over it, they may be walking around it, maybe on the ground 1 minute and 15 feet high the next. It's just unbelievable the amount of debris these guys are having to go through to try to locate this child. But thank goodness at the end of the day, we were able to put our hands on it.
Was it part of a grid search, or can you describe just kind of about how many people were there that actually did find him?
We had approximately 140 operators on the ground today in conjunction with Star Team 2 and Ms. Mississippi, which is part of Star Team 2, and then I believe Captain Crawford had 15 to 17 guys out in the field with us as well, and their command center was set up off of Meadow Lane, and we were trying to coordinate things out of there with GPS technology and keeping the guys out in the fields. We split all of our guys up to run some grid searches, or actually just search lines, and they had cleared approximately 134 acres prior to locating the child. And he was in one of our third priority groups for today, and they got started maybe an hour and a half into the search and radioed to us that they had found him.
Another question? More questions?
Can we get the official age of the child? We've heard 7 years old or 8 years old.
Age of the child.
Michael or someone? Michael?
The call that we received on the phone says 7 years old, but we have also heard 8 years old also, but we was going with 7 years old because that's what the caller called and they reported missing.
Anyone else? Any other questions?
It's been our experience when we were in Smithville and Webster County a couple of years ago that they had a problem with scammers coming in acting as contractors. Anybody advise people what to look out for and how to?
Mayor?
I do have a little information.
William, this is William McCulley again.
Yeah, we're going to get some more of this out soon. We have been working a little bit with the Home Builders Association of Mississippi, and hopefully within before the evening is over, we'll have some information out to the public through social media and flyers and the newspaper and things like that. But I don't know that we've had a lot of reported instances of that, but it's a little early yet. But we are going to get some information out on that. We are aware of that.
Thank you, William. Yes, sir.
If you could,
Yes, sir.
We also have a unique effort working with the Contractors Licensing Bureau at the state level. The director was here on site today. We're establishing a new system. It was a concern of the governor's early on that we not have these fraudulent contractors out there. There will be a process for them to come and become certified and bona fide and put placards in their vehicles so they can be identified as licensed contractors throughout the state. We're still in the process of developing that system. It will operate somewhere remotely with our donation center out there. But it was such a concern of the governor's that we're implementing a new system in conjunction with the Mississippi Contractors Bureau.
Can you say your name real quick, make sure we have it correct?
Buddy, B-U-D-D-Y, King, K-I-N-G.
Director of Emergency Management Agency here in Winston County. This reminds me of how important it is to take some things for granted. Traffic control, possible looters, people that come in from other areas that prey on these situations. The law enforcement's been incredible, and I do want to thank our chief of police, LM Claiborne. Do you have any quick thoughts? Thank you for what you're doing. Sheriff Pugh, any comments on the law enforcement side?
I would just like to remind everyone that we do have a curfew. We are fortunate that Chief and I are working together on that.
Okay.
Also, our hearts go out to our losses in our community.
Thank you.
And thank you for all our support.
Thank you, Sheriff.
What is
I would like
that,
to-
the curfew?
So 9 to 6 is what I've been told, Mayor, and other 9 to 6 until further notice. There's also a burn ban, no, very quickly, there's a burn ban notice in this county, countywide, until further notice. Yes, sir.
So how are we getting this notice out that we got a curfew? This is kind of, and when did it start?
Okay, good
When did it
question.
start?
I'll defer that to, first our media can help. I'll also defer that maybe to Joseph McCain with the editor post for our local paper, and maybe William will have a comment. How's that information getting out, William?
We've been putting that out through Twitter, Facebook, WWLSC,
Local radio.
media sources we have available to us here. That's been out quite a bit the last 2 days.
Okay, Chief Claiborne?
And also, I guess what, I know that would be a concern for everybody. Our first concern, first of all, is the protection of property. We did have some concerns about implementing a curfew that with people that without power and without homes would be able to access that information. So our officers have been operating on a strict policy that we stop them and advise them that there's a curfew and send them home, and then only if they refuse to cooperate do we enforce the curfew.
Chief, can you say and spell your name as well?
The initials L.M. Claiborne, C-L-A-I-B-O-R-N-E.
Everywhere I go, I see members of Mississippi Highway Patrol or raised state troopers all over Winston County. I don't know what this county would do without their help. And Major again, this is Major Randy again. Thank you for your folks and what they're doing. Any quick comments?
I'd just like to say, on behalf of the Highway Patrol, the Bureau of Investigation and MVN, our department feels pain and extends sympathy to those victims and to those families who have lost loved ones. And it is our task to support the local law enforcement as they need our assistance, and we will be here to support them and assist this community